This weekend, we're in Belgium, in the picturesque province of Liège. Halfway through the season, it's too early to call the championship. Can teams make good before the summer break, or will they be hoping for a reset? Spa-Francorchamps should need no introduction. From the sweeping curve of Eau Rouge and Radion to the flat-out descent through Pouon. This is just over 4 miles of wonderful racing wherever you look in the Belgian countryside.
Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23. It's episode 71, second race for Tanaka, and first FP1 session for Bernadette Brun, this time in place of Florsch. I will be alternating that, but one thing I remembered is that we set up to have Ollie Behrman do all of the appearances, all that grunt work, so that Florsch could get maximum development. Tanaka's going to take over that role. So unless I go in and fix that and split it up amongst the pair, we are looking at a scenario of Tanaka losing a bit of development relative to Florsch here the remainder of the season. I think I might have to divide that up. So I've opted to use, used parts. Sprint races are really bad for the longevity of your parts. I'm not a big fan of them. It's Spa. We have a sprint race weekend. Florsch qualified, made it all the way to Q3 for the first time. Just going to start from P10. Phenomenal stuff. Also, phenomenal in that FP3, or FP2 actually, there is no FP3 on a sprint weekend. FP2 has seen Tanaka 7th and Florsch 8th within a second of Charles Leclerc on the longest lap of the season, I believe, in terms of time. So as we head into that sprint race, Florsch, better setup satisfaction. Tanaka has better track acclimatization, but the driver prep is only a 3% boost. Car part knowledge at 100%. We do have new side pods, but they were not ready for this weekend. They should be ready for the next after the summer break. Normally it's prior to Spa, now it's after Spa-Francorchamps. But both cars on pretty used parts, and Florsch is a little bit better than what Tanaka is entering the race with. Let's see how they can perform.
Sprint around Spa-Francorchamps.
Big opportunity for the ladies with good qualifying positions for both. Florsch P10, Tanaka P15. Florsch drops to 11th right off the start. Tanaka down to 16th off the start. Tanaka already settling into 16th, but Florsch back up into 10th after the first corner. And as we head to Eau Rouge and Radion for the first time, phenomenal position to be in for us. I mean, it really is. But it's a sprint. Not a fan of them. There was rain expected today, and I didn't see anything coming up. Oh, yeah, there is. So we are expecting some rain in the final laps. It's going to depend on... It's just a hint. Just a hint of water potentially going to hit the track. I don't think there's going to be any reason to pit. If others do decide to pit, and there's a few seconds lost over pace versus those pitting and losing a whole lot more than that, we could see ourselves have a pretty big race. There's a lot of mistakes in the final chicane here, though. Tanaka, watch out for that type of difficulty. 10th and 16th on lap 1. Lap 2, let's go ahead and settle in. The fuel is going to be a bit to try to recover on. You can push decently well here compared to other tracks. But both locked in, 10th and 16th. Florsch having a look at the outside on Magnussen, but tucks back in. Thinks better of it. But yeah, what a start. I mean, she's in a strong position. Now, my plan for the remainder of this season is to continue on quickly, unless situations dictate that we want to slow down and control because of something like what Flourish is doing right now, being on the edge of points. Now, 10th is not a point. This is a sprint race. You've got to be in the top 8. Tanaka down to 17th. Lap 5 of 15. Flourish, let's push on a little bit. Close that gap. We are more than a second down, and Norris is all over the back of us. Right push at the right place can do the same sort of thing. There's a VSC, and it happened just ahead of us. You can see some of the debris there.
2 secs. There's been a crash.
That's going to take care of the fuel situation.
Right, we're down at
And
turn
it's
5.
Verstappen
The
along
cars
with
jostling for position.
one of the Aston Martins.
And, oh, that's obviously far from intentional. But
Hard
there
to
was
tell
contact.
who for sure was
This a
at
blow
fault there,
too for
but it
more
kind
than
of looked
one
like
driver from the
Verstappen
pack.
completely missed the apex there and kind of drove straight on where the Aston Martin turned in expecting left car's width. Looked like. Not sure that it was. They're both, it's Porsche, and they're both out of the race. So Flourish is into the points for now. Porsche, 5-second penalty. Apparently he turned in on Verstappen. Like I said, it was hard to tell. I want them both to push as we come out of this. And resume racing. Flourish 2.5 behind the cars ahead, but 0.7 ahead. DRS, is it enabled already? And it is. DRS is immediately re-enabled, and that causes the overtake. We're down to 9th. Out of the points. We had it for a couple laps, and just like that, just as we resume, and we are pushing. We are pushing, but to no avail as they are pushing as well. Oh, nice. Turn 1 was fantastic. Back down to aggressive. We've got a yellow. Safety car. Full safety car, and we're moving up a spot. A Ferrari is out of the race. It's Russell.
What happened there?
Just ran wide. Just ran wide. That's all it was. Full safety car.
Look at the team there.
Field
They
is
all
going to be
knew
bunched.
what that moment meant.
Flourish back into P8. Back into the points. And that's going to use up some laps for sure. Remember, rain was expected, and this is going to change the circumstances. We've already had a VSC, and now we're 4 minutes away from rain coming. Definitely coming, and it's more than what was expected before, but it's going to be in the final 2 laps, and it's going to be an insignificant amount, meaning we are staying out, even if others do not. Tanaka, do I have time? 77 meters before pit. If I pit her right now, she's going to absolutely cook those tires, but we're under safety car condition. She's going to, no, she'll be so far behind. Rain begins to fall. Rain begins to fall while we're still under the safety car. More rain than what was expected. Safety car is ending. Safety car is ending. We have tons of spare fuel. We have full batteries. And we are going to go full attack now because there's no reason to hold off. Okay. Well, let's ride with Flourish. On the restart, it's also getting incredibly dark. And heavy rain is due. Okay, I would like to get a weather update. We are going to pause here at some point. Tanaka 15th, Flourish 8th. Neither one changing their position here from the start. But we are attacking harder, pushing harder, all the way to the end of this sprint. It's still dry, but it's changing quickly, and it is continuing to increase. It looks like with the number of laps involved, you may want to pit. However, staying out while coming with a risk I mean, it could result in a 1-2. And look how much faster we are. We're able to get alongside the Haas. That's not a Haas, that's Norris. Everybody else is diving off into the pits. Oh my gosh, here we go. Florsch into the race lead. Signs with pit stop issue. Everybody's double stacking. Tanaka is P2. Tanaka is P2 just ahead of Leclerc. She is not going to finish P2 under these circumstances. She is going to be off the pace. But can she hold up traffic long enough, well enough to give Florsch a chance? It's 3 laps. 3 laps. And the track is definitely more than just a little damp. At 1.3, it's picking up. It's intensifying. Tanaka's been caught. So Tanaka, for now, holding up traffic, but there goes Leclerc down to P3. And there goes Tsunoda onto a podium spot. Leclerc already just 6 seconds behind Florsch, gaining very, very, very quickly. But we are staying out. We are staying out. Down to 6th. Tanaka not in as strong of a position to benefit from this strategy. Once we are out of the points, I think it becomes worthwhile. Leclerc has caught Florsch. Tanaka about to drop out of the points. Neutral, they've used their batteries. Florsch is down to P3, by the way. Leclerc already went by. Tsunoda has now just gone by. I'm not sure she's going to hang on to her P8. I should have pit her and left Tanaka out. This would be the finish line, right? And Florsch would be taking 4th. So it would have been a gain, but we have a whole nother lap to go here, and there's already 4 cars very, very close behind her. Tanaka drops to 11th. Florsch drops to 5th. Down the straight, Florsch has held off the chasing pack. She is still 5th. And if they battle each other behind us, it's going to give us a chance. Every corner is an overtaking opportunity for them. For now, she defends mightily, keeping them behind us, as we're already 6 seconds behind the next car ahead. She is still 5th. Still 5th. Couple tight right-handers here. Those are big opportunities for overtakes, but she still holds them off. Looks like here they come. How many will follow through? There goes the Alpine of Gasly.
Leclerc is the winner.
She cuts off the others. Leclerc takes the win. Final 2 corners. Final 2 corners. Florsch is down to next to last position. But Florsch takes 6th. Takes 6th. It worked out. And then Tanaka makes a mistake here, and down to 6%. She locks up at that place where, locking up's an issue. She's going to hold off Drugovich to at least take 16th. She only lost 1 position. Florsch gains 2 positions. Strategy did just about work off to a net positive, and it certainly worked out to being 3 points for Florsch. She's had 1 point in her entire career. She got 3 points here. Now, pinning, we have a chance to move forward. Not necessarily backward, but it could be backward. It's that last pit stall, right? There's situations that occur with that. But that's a 6th place and 3 points for Sophia Florsch. Holy crap.
We've got 44 laps ahead of us here in Spa as we get ready for the Belgian Grand Prix. A lot of people will be keen to see just how Zhou Guanyu will fare today.
They're in a tight pack starting 9th, so hanging on to points is going to be very competitive.
But just what will happen here, your guess is as good as mine. Get ready, it's the Belgian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
I'm still dumbfounded by what just happened as Florsch then takes that into her starting grid position. She is on the softs to start this one, and she is already back up into P6 on the inside of Norris, but Norris and her battling it out right now. I did underfuel by 1 lap, and it's going to be tricky. We don't want to push on for long. She's down to P7, but I don't care about P6 or P7 for her. If she can get P10 or better, we're talking about a phenomenal day. Tanaka, meanwhile, is P16 and doing the reverse strategy. She's going to go mediums to softs. She's far enough behind. Undercut certainly could be a thing, but I want to see if she can make her way forward and if she can hold her position a little bit here in the short term. She's already 3 seconds behind her teammate, just generally because of position. But holy crap, Flourish through 1 lap has held on to P7. Gap's already starting to emerge near the front of the grid. The best driver is pulling away a bit. Flourish has to keep pushing for now to close that gap. But same with Tanaka. They are both on the edge of losing DRS, and DRS is out of DRS range, but gets Magnussen out of DRS range. No, has a poor first corner. Magnussen has a better first corner. We've got to keep pushing a little bit longer with her to get up there. She's at that 1 second mark. Tanaka is fine, but went down 2 positions without DRS. Lost 2 positions there. Recent race winner, last race, Xiao Guan Yu. Safety car deployed. Oh boy.
We've got a yellow flag here.
Safety car is deployed already. This moves a couple cars up the grid. Piastri gets into the back of the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin's always involved, but not the cause this time. That's
And for the crew watching on in the garage.
Happens behind Flourish. She's P7. 4 cars decide to pit. The field was just stretched out enough. Sonoda, Leclerc, Magnussen, Drugovich all pit. For 3 of them, they come out in the middle of the pack with a pit stop already done. But they're on mediums that are only just slightly fresher than everybody else's. It's not going to get them that much further into the race. It's not going to help them out that much, and they lost a lot of track position for that, so very risky. Sargent and Piastri now out of the race. Flourish up to P5 after a couple of the leaders pit. Back where she ran most of last race. Oh, she's got double. Yeah, engine and ERS damage. Remember that for this race. As Flourish goes around Norris into P4. Folks, we're running in 4th position. Needs to keep pushing. Norris is out of DRS range. What is Norris doing? Mediums. Couldn't get up to temperature as well. Stay aggressive. Hey, Flourish, what the heck? We were so much closer. She had a really poor chicane. How was that a second and a half? That's not right. She is not a second and a half down. She's not 1.2 seconds down. She's a couple car lengths behind. A leader. I was on leader. Oh my gosh. Okay. 2 seconds ahead of Norris. Standard. Balanced. Neutral. This is crazy. But here's my number. So call me baby. Tanaka down to 17th. Verstappen coming through. Porsche coming through. I don't care. Flourish is in 4th place. Sonoda goes around Norris, closes the gap a bit. Yellow flag. Magnussen down to last place. Lock up on turn 8. Lap 11 of 44. Tanaka down to 17th. 2 of the components for Tanaka are kind of last race scenarios. Sonoda caught up. So Sainz does not have great pace. Sonoda has caught up. Brought a lot of cars along. Not much DRS. Oh, Leclerc. Sneaky. We were having a look on Ocon, and Leclerc comes up the other side and makes the overtake. Leclerc's going to go around at least, but we tuck in on Ocon when we had a clear run there. Into that final chicane. Let's ride on board. We're going to go to the inside and make the overtake. Do we keep DRS up the hill? I don't think we do. Separate sector, isn't it? Definite gap ahead of us. We're running in 4th position here. Leclerc's back up to 2nd. Tanaka's in last, but at least staying with Magnussen. We've been pushing that battery for a while, though. Gasly has lost the wheel of the front two. Dropping back from them, but so are we. Ocon all over the back of us. They would definitely have better pace. We are pulling back a little bit from the front two anyway. Gasly, we're about same pace as Gasly. Gasly pits. Gasly has pit a little bit early. I've got 2 laps to go. Ocon got around though. Gasly came out in 16th. We're losing time. Leclerc is 6.5 seconds away. And we end up getting the overtake done. Up into 2nd position for the moment. But we know it's more of a virtual P5, but now P4 actually, because we've gotten back around Ocon. One more lap. One more lap for Flourish before she pits. Her position will be much worse in a moment. We pull ahead of Ocon. Lock everybody in. They're all going slow. Oh my goodness. Flourish, to her own benefit, has held up a lot of cars, slowed them down, and we're now going to be quicker than them. Others coming down pit road as well. That is Verstappen on pit road. 2.695. That is way too slow. I really wanted that 0.4 faster. We are ahead of Magnussen, ahead of Verstappen who just pit, and we're ahead of Tanaka and no one else. We are in clean air though, and we want to push right now before others pit. We want to make up ground. Gaining on signs pretty quickly here. We've already gained 0.5 second, 0.7 of a second, 0.8 of a second. Up to temperature, go down to aggressive. Choke on you with the lockup, and we go around him. He rejoins ahead of Tanaka in 16th, but we're already just 1.5 seconds behind Sainz. We were 3.5 seconds down just a moment ago. We gained 2 seconds very, very quickly there. Sainz is caught behind slower cars. Sainz is good to go to the end. Gasly is going to the end. That's about it. So a virtual third other than, say, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Ocon territory. But we're just 13 seconds behind. We've already made up the ground. And into the pits go Magnussen, Joe. That's some of the cars getting out of the way. There's now Drugovich, Hadjar, and Sainz ahead of me. Sainz is somebody who managed to undercut. If we can get him and Drugovich quickly, and he gets caught up a little bit, that could be a massive opportunity for us. 2 more cars in the pits. Russell spin on turn 1, and that is Tsunoda coming out of the pits right beside us. We've got the advantage now. We get cut off by Sainz. He's going to make a double maneuver. That is weaving on the straight, but as if the game is going to actually do something about that. Sainz does get the overtake done on Drugovich. We need to get around Drugovich quickly. So we will keep pushing. Use the last of that battery. That's that clean air we need to get into. That's that position we need to secure, because other than Leclerc's pitting right now. Leclerc's pitting right now. We're not going to catch Leclerc. I don't think he's still going to be ahead of us. But otherwise, we are potentially in position ahead of virtually everybody else, and 3 more cars into the pits as we make our way past Drugovich. are overheating. Battery's empty. Bad timing on the battery being empty. That is Sonoda all over the back of us. Sonoda already made his move as well. Followed us right on through. Too easy for him. We are going to have to back off here in a moment as we are massively overheating. We're going to keep pushing the engine for a little bit. We can recover that. That is actual P7. Well inside the points. Sonoda is a real danger to us at the moment, but we're not massively overheating anymore. We're just 14 seconds behind Norris. 15. Norris and Stroll are a bit of a threat. Leclerc obviously is already ahead of us, and Sainz. So Gasly, Pourchaire. There's one of them pitting now. Pourchaire pits. Oh, Gasly's already good to go. That's right, we were third on the virtual. So we're looking at just whatever that gap to Norris and Stroll is and how long they stay out. Tanaka, finally her time to pit. Good timing for it as she's at 34%. We'll go aggressive. Push for her in lap. She's 16th ahead of Magnussen and Zhou and no one else. That's sad, but it is what it is. P6 now. And just 15 seconds behind those two. And here goes Sonoda, and there goes Norris and Stroll. So Flourish stays 7th. She does not get ahead of them. 2.665. Not a great stop for Tanaka, but not too bad of one. That was two of our weaker stops on the season. And that's last place. 46 seconds behind overall. 13 for Flourish. Leclerc, of course, had that big advantage earlier and pulled away. There you go, DRS. It's going to help us close that down. It's going to help us be in a group of 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well ahead of anybody else. A little, probably too far behind to do anything else, but a weaker engine, ERS, and gearbox. Definitely better than what Tanaka has. And oh my goodness, we're comfortably in the points and running P7 right now. Ocon loses DRS. Wouldn't that be something if we get a little 5, 6, 7 train at some point and make a move ahead of one? We would have a shot at P5. But what about softs? Who's coming on? Ocon's on the softs. How is he losing ground? Stroll and Norris are leading us around on soft, or Norris is anyway. Albon too far down. Verstappen's beating him right now, challenging him. Those guys aren't going to go forward fast enough, strong enough, I think. Losing a little ground, let's push. This is about both Ocon and our gap with those two ahead of us, so we need to stay up there, and it's not looking good at the moment. 15 laps to go. It's way too early for us to start dropping off and falling behind. Ocon's already caught us, and we're going to get overtaken by Ocon. Huge gap to Verstappen, but Verstappen's fast. If he pulls Albon with him, we could have a problem there, but we have a nice healthy gap behind us. 33 of 44. Albon and Verstappen are coming, but others are not coming with them, so they've pulled away from them, but those two are coming pretty quick at us. If Flourish can hang on to 1 point today, that's a definite win. Just sucks that Albon's getting towed around by Verstappen. 3 seconds. They've slowed down on their rate of gain. Yellow. Dragovic with a spin. Drops him to 17th, but Tanaka's still behind. It's a combination of them gaining and us losing, because we're 8 seconds off the back of a car we were in DRS range on 12 laps ago. So we're losing pretty rapidly, 2/3 of a second per lap. So pace is not great right now from Flourish on the mediums. That's kind of expected. That's where she's slower. That's where she's at her worst. We also did fuel recovery there for quite a bit. that's going to add a couple tenths to that. So she was half a second off the pace on the slower compound when it wasn't fresh. Added to that, of course, was us lifting and coasting, and looks like it's going to happen here in just a moment that we drop to P9. We stay ahead for now. I don't think we're going to hold off Verstappen long enough. But it is a combination of that, but also Verstappen coming. Verstappen's faster. Verstappen made a mistake, right? During the sprint race, started from the very back of the grid. That's right. So started from like P20 and is 9th and pushing to make 8th. He's not going to make it any further than that. In fact, we're gaining on those ahead of us. Penultimate lap, we, for a second there, went around Verstappen. And we are ahead. We are ahead of Verstappen with less than a lap and a half to go. Can we hang on to this position? Obviously, all you really need is to hold off for the 2 zones. Slow down. Looking behind us. He's going to stay tucked in. He is staying tucked in. If we get down to 0, we go balanced. And we do. We're going to have to go balanced for the rest. Tanaka, sadly 18th. Half a lap down on the teammate. Long left-hand sweeper. It's kind of a double corner. There you go. Bit of a chicane coming up next. One of 3 closest to a chicane you've got. It's a right and then a left kink. 2 right-handers. We're going to continue to watch. Let's speed it back up, though.
That's Leclerc.
We're back to
Charles
point
Leclerc
1.
is today's winner.
Leclerc takes the win. No surprise there. He was off to a very good, strong, quick start. But we are pulling away half a second ahead of Verstappen. He's pulling away from Albon. This is going to be a 7-point race for Sophia Flörsch. Flörsch has claimed 7 freaking points this race weekend. She had won her entire career. She becomes team leader, and she leads the team. What's going on with Tanaka? I don't know. She should have better pace than this. She has it when she runs those FP1s, or had it for, 3 years? 4 years? 3 years she's been on the team as a reserve driver. She's always faster than Flörsch. I don't know what's going on. Putting her into an actual race scenario, it's taking more into account than just raw pace? Maybe. Or it's just growing pains. Whatever the case may be, Flörsch has had the race of her career. The weekend of her career. Phenomenal stuff. She can replicate something like this a couple times next season as she continues to grow and get better.
A really fantastic
then
result for
we'll be
the
just fine.
driver.
We will be just
Tell
fine.
you what, they had to work
Hell
hard
yeah.
for those points today. What a phenomenal achievement that is.
So 4 and 3 is 7. Great job there. Tanaka was dead last of all the drivers, unfortunately. But there it is. Flörsch, 7 points this weekend, is now 15th in the championship. Nowhere near the 80 that Behrman scored, obviously, but fantastic job. Absolutely fantastic. She alone has now outscored Haas and AlphaTauri, meaning we'd be looking at no worse than 8th at the moment. How things stand right now. So I'm impressed, and that puts us that much further ahead of Aston Martin, who really don't threaten this season. So I think 7th is going to be very comfortable. But now it's about building for next season, and how often can we do something like this? I think we're going to have a lot of hit and miss. We're going to have a lot of tracks that are hard. We're going to underperform. tracks that are easier. We're going to see some results. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.